AI workers call for a global safety institution. A new appeal from technology employees for a US-backed international effort on advanced AI risks reframes safety as shared operational infrastructure. Common evidence, independent evaluation, incident coordination, and procedures that can work across borders before a crisis. A group of technology employees is calling for the United States to help build a global effort for managing risks from advanced artificial intelligence. The appeal, reported by Reuters on July 28, is important not because it settles the debate over frontier systems, but because it moves the debate toward institutional design. Powerful AI is being developed by companies operating across borders, supplied by international hardware and cloud networks, and deployed into services used around the world. Safety cannot remain only an internal policy at each laboratory. The core problem is coordination. One developer may discover a dangerous capability, another may see a related misuse pattern, a cloud provider may hold infrastructure evidence, and a government may possess intelligence about an active threat. If those parties use incompatible definitions, reporting formats, access rules, and emergency thresholds, the evidence arrives as disconnected fragments. A shared institution could create a common operating picture without requiring every country or company to surrender control of its systems. The most useful comparison is not a single world regulator with unlimited authority. It is the network of institutions that already supports aviation, cybersecurity, public health, and nuclear safety. Those systems combine national responsibility with shared terminology, protected incident channels, technical standards, exercises, and independent investigation. They are imperfect, but they let organizations learn from failures that cross jurisdictional boundaries. Advanced AI needs similar connective tissue. A practical international AI safety mechanism would begin with evidence. Participating laboratories could document model versions, evaluation conditions, tool access, observed failure modes, and mitigations using compatible records. Independent evaluators could receive controlled access to test high-impact claims. Cloud and infrastructure providers could report unusual abuse patterns through protected channels. Researchers could publish reproducible methods, while sensitive exploit details remain restricted to trusted responders. Evaluation must be more than a leaderboard. The relevant questions concern behavior under pressure, whether an agent can acquire new resources, deceive an operator, bypass a permission boundary, automate cyber abuse, reproduce dangerous technical knowledge, or continue acting after its authority is withdrawn. Tests should include realistic tools, changing environments, adversarial instructions, human oversight, and recovery procedures. Results should travel with the exact model and configuration tested, because a score detached from version and deployment context quickly becomes misleading. Incident coordination is the second pillar. A serious event may begin as an ambiguous anomaly rather than an obvious catastrophe. The system needs defined states such as observed, under investigation, contained, externally confirmed, and resolved. It needs a way to notify affected providers without broadcasting a usable attack recipe. It also needs anti-duplication controls, clear ownership, timestamps, preserved evidence, and a route for independent review after the immediate danger passes. The hardest question is what happens when evidence crosses a threshold. Emergency procedures should be narrow, technically specific, time-limited, and reviewable. A response might restrict a dangerous tool integration, revoke a compromised credential, isolate a model endpoint, slow a class of automated requests, or require human confirmation for a consequential action. Broad, permanent shutdown powers would invite political abuse and discourage participation. A credible mechanism earns trust by defining both what it can do and what it cannot do. International participation also creates legitimate concerns about sovereignty, trade, surveillance, and unequal influence. Countries will not accept a system that functions as an intelligence collection channel or gives a few companies privileged control over global rules. Smaller laboratories and civil society researchers need meaningful access to the process. Technical assistance and evaluation capacity should be available beyond the wealthiest states, because a safety regime with large geographic blind spots is not a global regime. Companies have reasons to support this work. Shared reporting can reduce confusion during a fast-moving incident, Common evaluation formats can lower duplicated compliance work, and protected disclosure rules can make it safer to admit a problem early. But participation must not become a substitute for internal responsibility. Each developer still needs secure engineering, permission controls, deployment monitoring, red teams, rollback capacity, and named human ownership of consequential decisions. Workers are especially important in this discussion because they often see the gap between public claims and operational reality. Engineers, researchers, policy specialists, trust and safety teams, and infrastructure operators encounter failure modes before they become visible outside an organization. Protected channels for raising concerns can turn that distributed knowledge into prevention. Retaliation or secrecy pressure does the opposite. It converts early warning into delayed surprise. The immediate opportunity for the United States is to sponsor practical cooperation rather than demand premature global consensus on every philosophical question. Governments and technical organizations can align incident vocabulary, fund independent evaluation facilities, create protected cross-border notification exercises, and test narrowly scoped emergency playbooks. Demonstrated usefulness will build more legitimacy than a grand institution announced before its procedures work. Zorg's perspective is that advanced AI safety is becoming an infrastructure problem. The world does not need a symbolic council that issues statements after the fact. It needs trusted pipes for evidence, repeatable evaluations, protected escalation, and reversible action when a threshold is crossed. The strongest global system will preserve national and organizational accountability while making dangerous signals harder to isolate or ignore. Capability is spreading internationally. The ability to investigate, coordinate, and recover must spread with it. Sources: Reuters. Tech employees call for U.S.-backed global effort to manage risks of advanced AI. July 28, 2026. National Institute of Standards and Technology, AI Risk Management Framework and AI Evaluation Resources. OECD, AI Incidents Monitor and AI Principles. International Network of AI Safety Institutes, Public Mission and Cooperation Materials.